Hello, my name is Elias von den Busche, and I'm going to talk to you guys about global warming. So, everybody's familiar with global warming. Everybody knows, okay, the Earth is getting warmer, but what does that exactly mean? Nobody really understands the specifics of how that works and why this is such a big issue and how it's affecting weather, oceans, people, the biosphere of the entire planet. All plants and animals on the planet are being affected by this, some to a greater degree than others. So, global warming is a very serious problem, but we can work on it and it can be reduced. And there are a few, obviously, problems that need to be solved, and there are some solutions that we can use to make sure that global warming becomes less of a prevalent threat to the planet and to people in, say, 50, 100 years from now. And there are a few things we can do. And according to the Ghana Journal of Geography from 2018, global warming includes causes, consequences, and global responses. The solution to global warming isn't going to happen from one party, one entity, one country. It's, as the source said, a global response. And there are a couple countries that come to mind here: the United States and China. As I've spoken on those two countries before, especially China has an enormous industrial manufacturing base, and so does the United States, as well as a host of other countries. And those manufacturing bases, those huge pillars of industry, are unfortunately pouring a lot of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere every single day. There have been measures that have been implemented to try and limit the amount of greenhouse gases pouring into the atmosphere every day, but they are severely lacking, and unfortunately, the problem is only getting worse. And another problem is transportation. Every single plane, train, and automobile, and cars are the big ones, causes huge amounts of these greenhouse gases to go into the atmosphere and start raising global temperatures. Now, carbon dioxide is typically the gas that everyone thinks of when they think of global warming and rising temperatures, but another really dangerous gas is methane. Methane also has a lot of roots to agriculture. A lot of animals release a lot of methane, and also a lot of other sources that release carbon dioxide also end up putting off huge amounts of methane into the atmosphere. The problem with that gas specifically is it facilitates the greenhouse effect, where the planet heats up much more rapidly than otherwise would have, much quicker than CO2 would. So, this leads to rising temperatures, obviously, which is the main issue when people think of global warming. And that's the main problem that we need to combat. Some of the side effects of this are some extreme weather and longer weather patterns, like El Nino and all sorts of hurricanes, cyclones, and typhoons, which, by the way, are the same thing, just in different parts of the world. Those will continue to get worse as the global climate deteriorates. According to Communications, Earth and Environment 2025, Arctic warming can affect weather patterns. And this is very relevant, especially considering how much global temperatures have been rising recently. Because of the sheer amount of water that's in the Arctic, if global temperatures continue to evaporate that water and have it melt, that can have drastic effects on the global climate, raise sea levels, influence currents, storm patterns, and all sorts of effects that aren't good for global warming and for the planet. According to Sustainability from March 2017, sea levels can rise and affect infrastructure. Animals, ecosystems, and people, as I previously mentioned, can all be affected by this. So these problems mainly come from one source, as I previously discussed: human activity and energy use. So what can we do about it, right? Well, first of all, as I previously discussed, we can limit our use of fossil fuels. Fossil fuels which put off greenhouse gases. Cars, factories, power plants, and greenhouse gases. These fossil fuels produce these greenhouse gases which trap a lot of heat, and that's where the term greenhouse effect comes from. So, according to the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel from May 20th, 2017, greenhouse gases are tied to fuel and everyday energy use. So, greenhouse gases are widely used, so it won't be easy to limit the use of them because they're so widespread across every major country on the planet. And scientists are studying global warming nowadays through some climate models, and the results are fairly unsettling. The problem is only going to get worse and worse, so we need to do something about it as quick as we can. According to environmental research letters from June of 2025, climate models can help study global warming patterns, and they can be fairly accurate when predicting the future of what global warming will look like, and it doesn't look good. So, a couple of things they're predicting are deforestation, which is a big problem because that will create a negative feedback loop wherein fewer trees are absorbing less and less amounts of CO2 out of the atmosphere, which will lead to fewer and fewer trees, which will lead to less amounts of CO2, and the cycle goes on. So this is a problem that's not going away, and like I said, it's only getting worse. So this is all, this doesn't sound great. What are some solutions? How can we combat this problem? We can switch to clean energy. Now, that isn't just going to happen overnight. We can't just do that and boom, switch to clean energy, but we can do it gradually. The source, the advertiser, from December 6, 2005, I really like what they say here. It's very simple. Clean energy is one possible climate change solution. There's not one magic bullet, one solution that will change everything, but clean energy is one possible solution to climate change. It can reduce emissions, and greenhouse gas removal can start to be facilitated. According to Global Sustainability from 2025, climate goals involve emissions reduction and greenhouse gas removal. And this can lead to better public transportation, more efficient cars that are putting off fewer greenhouse gases, protect the forests, which reduces that negative feedback loop of CO2 intake that I discussed earlier, and prepare for things like heat, fires, storms, flooding, all of these natural disasters that we come to associate with global warming. So some problems, causes, and solutions to global warming. Greenhouse gases are a big one with human activity, and they lead to a lot of really negative effects for the climate and global warming in general. Some solutions are, big one is transitioning to clean energy gradually, and we need to take global warming seriously. And finally, I want to quote from the Ghana Journal of Geography from 2018. Causes, consequences, and a global response can lead to the Earth getting warmer. So we need to work together to combat this problem. Thank you very much.